Thank you for attending the Cuscen USA Executive Webinar Session. Since 2012, Cuscen has been a global enterprise software publishing company based in the United States. Some of the Cuscen enterprise software products are Cuscen ERP Enterprise Business Edition, Cuscen ERP Small Business Edition, Humica, Next DMS, and Automotive Dealer Management System software. For more information, please visit the corporate website at cuscenusa.com. To get the executive webinar session started, I would like to invite Kevin Devisioglu from Cuscen USA. Kevin, floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you very much for these introductions. Much appreciated. My name is Kevin Deveci, and I am with Cuscen USA. Cuscen USA is an enterprise software publishing company based in the USA since 2012. Today, at our executive webinar session at Cuscen USA, we'll talk about best practices for manufacturing process improvement in food and beverage industry, and followed by introductions to Cuscen ERP Software Enterprise Business Edition. To address the subject matter, we have a subject matter expert in our executive webinar session today. We have Dan Stiglitz from SaaS Worldwide, based in New York. And Dan is a process improvement and efficiency expert. Has been in the market for decades, years of experience in food and beverage industry, and he is the subject matter expert in this conversation today. Also today, we have Batu Satılmış with us at Cuscen USA. He is a member of our pre-sales software specialist team at Cuscen USA in the US. And after Dan's educational presentation, Batu will be demonstrating Cuscen ERP software system and show you its capabilities and features. Okay, so as next step, let's get back to the Dan and let's get started with the educational presentation on best practices for manufacturing process improvement in food and beverage industry and introductions to Cuscen ERP software. Dan, please take it from here. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kevin, for that warm introduction. And thank you, everybody, for attending our best practices for process improvement. Today, we will be focusing on manufacturing modules, specifically the inventory management modules related to food and beverage. A little bit about CS Worldwide, though, Kevin, you did a great job. We are business advisors, problem solvers, improvement specialists, and matchmakers. We help companies use people, process, and technology to improve their productivity, reduce their cost, and increase their profits. We find ourselves most helping clients to utilize tools. To us, tools are human resources and software in a way that allows them to effectively and efficiently run their business. And that's what we're here to show you today. We're going to talk a little about today the food and beverage industry and how you manage a manufacturing process related to inventory from beginning to end. Basically, what we're going to show you is from raw materials to inventory, how you best manage the inventory and how it goes out in and out the door. We'll focus on workflows, setting up your inventory, managing inventory to finished goods, managing that process, and capturing costs. What we always say in a process is that a good process, all roads lead back to accounting. We want to make sure that finance and accounting has the best ability for managing, capturing costs, because without capturing the proper cost, all the sales in the world are great, but it's profitability that will make it work. So when we diagram what's happening in the food and beverage industry around a manufacturing process, it starts with demand forecasting, taking your historical data, doing analysis, making adjustments, and seeing what we have to build. In order to build it so we can sell it, we need to buy it. So procurement planning comes in and says, who do we buy from? How do we schedule the order? Let's negotiate pricing and such. And we can do all that within our ERP system. Once we buy it, we need to receive it and inspect it. We bring it in, we record it as a raw material. We put it away in a way that's easy to find, that dictates whether it has expiration dates, lots that it needs to follow, and is put in a way that we can easily get to it when we're building our product. Once we received our inventory, or as we receive our inventory, we plan our production, right? Planning our production means we got to build it. So we call it in food and beverage recipes. Other manufacturing companies call it just a bill of material. Creating that right bill of material, the mixture between raw materials, cost of labor, cost of packaging to put it together into one finished good. How do we schedule it? What machines do we need? What resources do we need? Once we schedule it all, we put it into production, right? We process that material, we quality control it, we package it, and we put it back on the floor as finished good. So our inventory tracking is always real time. Our stock adjustments are low. Our loss management hopefully is nil. We'll talk more about that in the coming slides. So let's start with these key processes: demand planning and procurement. We got to look at current sales, historical sales, market trends, seasonality, determine how much of what we need to purchase and build so we can sell it. We use statistical methods, AI, machine learning, that'll help us predict that. We go out and we buy the material by having our demand plan show us what procurement has to buy, should buy. We let procurement do their job by going out and finding the right suppliers, the right products, scheduling it so it'll come in. Once it comes in, we do receiving. We check the quality and quantity of what's coming in. We inspect what's coming in. We do a quality check, very important. Making sure before we have to use the product, it's the right product we bought, it's in the right unit of measure, it has the right consistency, it's what we need for creating food product, and that we update our inventory so we know what that stock is, so we know when we can put our planning in order. I'd like to stop now and let Batu show us in an ERP system how both demand planning through receiving and inspecting the goods would work. He's going to show us a little about how we set up that demand, how we look at sales and forecasting to see what we need to build, what we need to purchase. And again, after we've purchased it, how do we put it away? We put it away in sections that are segregated for raw material. We have a quality control segregation, making sure it's checked, and we do expiration and lot number checking when necessary. So please, Batu, show us in ERP how this would work.
Thank you, Dan. We can do that in demand management dashboard. From here, you can add, edit, view, and import data to manage your material requirements effectively. Creating a new demand is straightforward. Let's walk through an example. Let's click on Add, and we'll begin entering our details for the product. You'll notice that we selected a specific material code from under here, and we're going to go with this first one. Depending on your planning needs, you can set the period for which you are planning. This can range from monthly or daily. Let's set ours to daily period to illustrate how the planning works for a shorter time frame. We can specify the duration of your demand planning by entering a date from and date to, as you can see here. I'm going to change that to last month. As you can see, that will update it. Below, you have a list of items. Each line represents a specific day in our plan. The material code remains constant, but the planning date, as you can see here, changes daily. allowing us to track and plan the demand day by day. The quantity field on the far right is where you'll input the forecasted or required number of units for each day. Currently, they all set to 0, indicating no demand has been forecasted or required yet. We also have the is checked active box is crucial as well. When this is checked, it means that the particular demand line is active and will be considered in the demand planning and execution. Make sure to activate it for all the items you want to include in your plan. Thank you.
Interesting. Thank you, Batu. That was really interesting. I think we had a good lesson in how to use an ERP to get us through receiving of the goods. Once we've received the goods, or actually while goods are on the water in transit, we're ready to make sure that we can plan to produce. As we said, planning requires a recipe management, a bill of material. Bill of material is, again, a listing of all the items needed at the time of production based upon how much we want to produce. If I need to produce 1,000 yogurt cups filled with Greek yogurt and blueberry, I need blueberries, I need yogurt, I need those cups, I need the lids, I need the packaging that goes around it, all listed in the recipe by quantity and then by scrap value. If I am going to ingest 10,000 pounds of yogurt, but I may have lost 1,000 pounds when I'm done, when I go and put that in the recipe, I put all that information in. Then we talked about inventory categorization, putting inventory away in recipes. Well, now we're about to produce the product, so we need to make sure that we can batch it when we're done. We can put an expiration date on it, and we can adjust the levels of inventory from raw material we took, which we'll talk about later when we're in production. We then have scheduling the batch, scheduling both our resources, machine resources, our product from raw material into WIP, work in progress, and then our people who are going to actually do this. Once we do our batch scheduling and resource allocation, we'll be able to then take the plan, put it on the floor, and use it to produce the product. Before we go there, I'd like again to hand this back to Batu so he could show us in an ERP system how easy it is to do production planning and scheduling.
Thank you, Dan. We can do that under Material Requirement Planning, MRP. In here, you'll be greeted with a clean interface, ready to input data for your company's material planning needs. At the top, you'll find fields to input your company, branch, material code, and MRP group. Let's set our parameters first. First, we're going to enter relevant details like the material code to specify the item you are planning for. Then we're going to select the MRP group to categorize your plan and choose a plan mode to determine the planning strategy. Once your parameters are set, you can click on Run to process the MRP as we did before, as you can see here. This action will generate a list of requirements based on your input. Below the input fields, you see columns for rec date, remark, rec issue quantity, and current stock, plan order, and so on. These columns will populate with the data once your MRP runs successfully. Next, we'll be moving on to the plan order. This is where you can add, view, and edit orders to manage your material requirements efficiently. Here, you see the list of plan orders. Each row represents an order with details such as branch, type, order number, and much more. This overview is crucial for a clear snapshot of your production line. By selecting an order, we can view and edit its details. Let's dive into the first order in the list. In the order details screen, as you can see here, you'll have all the necessary information. The material code up here refers to the specific item, and order quantity field to adjust according to your needs. We can also notice the start and end date, ensuring these are accurate guarantees that your production aligns with your distribution requirements. After making the necessary changes, always remember to save And this action updates the system and communicates the changes across your production network. Back on the main screen, all your orders are updated in real time, offering a dynamic planning tool that's both robust and responsive. Thank you.
Once again, thank you, Batu. Really interesting on how we can plan our production and make changes if necessary in that planning as new sales orders come in, as we determine that our stock might have been low in one area. So we have to go and maybe change some packaging out or maybe not produce as much as we expected. Once we made all those changes, we're ready to execute our plan. Again, if we've done our preparation properly, all our ingredients sit in work in process. We could take a work order or a transfer order, transfer the materials we need from raw material, put them into the manufacturing area, follow our process for creating the product. Some of the ERPs out there allow you to connect the machines right to the ERP themselves. So your quality control can be managed right within the software. So if you need to put 2 pounds of sugar into your recipe, calls for 2 pounds of sugar, your sugar comes over, you put it on the scale. If you try and put 2.5 pounds, it blocks you. If you try and put 1.25 pounds, it blocks you. It has a tolerance before or after 2. It'll allow you to put just that. Once you get that in, you can then process the material through the manufacturing process. When it comes out, package it, use your packaging that you've taken for raw material, put into the working process, and come out with a finished product. When you close, we call the process order the work order. You actually transform. You reduce all the inventory that we had in the past as raw material, and you've made a finished good. You no longer own an asset called raw material in the format it was. You now have a new asset which has new combined costing of a product for finished good. Goes into a separate location for it's called finished goods inventory. Leaves us to inventory tracking. What we do here is by making sure the system is up to date as we process all this. We could do it with barcoding. We could do it with RFID tracking. It can be very sophisticated. But most importantly, if we track our inventory properly, it allows that process to start over again continuously from the beginning, because as we use product, as we get new orders, as we finish new product, making it finished goods, it's all in alignment and the wheel just keeps turning and turning and turning. Most importantly, when we're tracking our inventory, probably one of our most important assets behind human resources, we can update it to reflect any changes. We want to keep those changes to a minimum. We want to use all of our material inside the process and only worry about spoilage, theft, losses during production to a minimum. But we also want to track it. Again, as I said from the beginning, all roads lead back to accounting. So accounting is able to see all this. It's all controlled within the process. It allows us to see what our margins are and allows us to be a profitable company. But why don't we go back to the ERP package, show them how we do a manufacturing process from work order, pulling product in, changing it over into a batch production, and at the end, taking that batch product and making it a finished good.
Thank you, Dan. First, we'll be starting production order. In here, each column provides the critical information. Starting from left, we have the branch, which signifies location or department the order is associated with. In this case, it's PP01, sensor manufacturing. Next is the order type. Here labeled as PRD01. We have the order number is a unique identifier for each production order, while the material specifies the item code being produced or processed. The description gives us more detail like the material alongside the UM, which stands for unit of measure. In this case, we have can, liter, and pat. The order quantity column shows the quantity to produce. Moving to the right, we have the received quantity, tells us the quantity received for or completed. Order start, order end provide the production timeline both, set for 30th January 2024, for example, for our high-level order. We also have the release date is the date that order was authorized to start. Lastly, we have the status column indicates order's current state, such as completed, cancel, or release. Now let's look at a detailed view of the specific production order. For example, let's go this first one, and we'll go into the detailed view. At the top, we can see our order number, material number, and the description. We can also see our branch, status, and order type. Below that, we have the general information. Here, we can review the order quantity, the unit of measure, and any scrap quantity. In the date time section, we see the scheduled start and end times of the production, with an option to confirm the start date. Below the quantity section, the planned order quantity and the quantity to be confirmed are visible, ensuring accuracy in reporting and inventory management. This production order system is important for managing manufacturing workflows, ensuring efficiency and maintaining transparency across the production cycle. With real-time tracking and detailed order management, businesses can optimize their operations and deliver products effectively. After making the production order, we'll be moving to the confirmation by order section. This is where you'll see a list of production orders ready for confirmation. Here, you'll find all necessary details such as the branch, type, order number, confirmation number, and associated material details. Let's take a closer look. Each order here includes a material description, the unit of measure, order quantity, yield quantity, and scrap quantity, along with the start and end dates of the production process. You'll notice the status column indicates release, as you can see here, signifying that these orders are finalized and awaiting confirmation. Let's select an order to confirm. For example, we'll go with this first one again. Let's double click and we'll go into the details page. Here, you have a comprehensive view of the order. At the top, again, we can see the confirmation number, our product order, and the description. We can also see our order type and branch. The general data tab reveals the type, yield quantity, and receipt quantity, ensuring that what was planned has been produced. Key information such as the posting date and the actual start and end dates are recorded here as well. You can notice the precise timestamps of the production commencement, as you can see up here, with the actual start date and actual end date. In the product order section, you'll find specifics like the order quantity and any remarks on the batch if applicable. You can also see our operations, as you can see with the routing number, with the operation number. We can also see the component that connects to that specific material. As you can see, we have 3. You can see everything is in the routing numbers as well with their description. You can also see our inventory account, right? We have 2. We can see their movement type, their movement source, and lastly, their transaction reference. And on the far right, we have the total cost for each inventory. For the inventory tracking, we can click, for example, this one. Once we click on it, that will take us to another page, right? In here, we can see the item details of that specific material. We can see the ledger, and so on. To see the inventory as well, we can go to distribution. Under distribution, we have the material receipts. Under material receipts, you can see all our document numbers with their status, with their branch here as well. You can see their posting period, posting date, total quantity, and total cost. For example, let's go with this one. As you can see, we have the total quantity of 502 and the total cost here as well. Let's double click on it, and that will take us to the details page. Under here, we can see all the items in our inventory with their material code, with their material description. We can see the warehouse location where they've been held at with their quantity unit, their unit, quantity base. We can see their inventory accounts for each of them with their unit cost. We can see their reference number, their lot number, and lastly, their cost. If we want to see their ledger item, we can see it here as well. We have the batch number. If we click on it, that will take us to another tab. And you can see all our items here as well. You can see all our transactions. And if there is an attachment, it will show up in here as well. And after the inventory management, we're going to go back to our manufacturing tab, and we're going to be going over the quality control. First, we have the QC order. Here, we can see the branch. The material is going to be in the QC order with the material description. You can see their unit, type, lot number, the warehouse, order quantity, and their score is currently at 0 because we didn't submit this QC order yet. If we want to add a brand new QC order, we can simply click on plus on add. And this is where you'll enter the details for your new QC order. We're going to have to put our confirm number, our material code, right? I'm going to put our branch. We're going to have to put our lot number and the warehouse. I'm going to go with this one, for example. I'm going to say this description. On the general information, we'll be going over order quantity. I'm just going to go with this. And I'm going to put our dates with the end date. Assignment, I can assign a plan group assignment if I want to, and supply assignment. These are all optional. Decisions not made yet. And I can also add a characteristic to this QC order as well. You know, I can add item code, data type, characteristic, sample, but I'm going to leave this as it is. Once you're done, we can click on save, and that will update our QC order. And once we submit our QC order, that will transfer us to the QC decision. I'll leave this. As you can see in the QC decision, it's the same information like branch, order number, material number with the material description. But on the right, we can see our decision description and our total score. As you can see, total score is 100 and QC is accepted for both of the materials. Again, to add a new QC decision, we can add a manual here as well. You can also see our QC result just above the QC decision. As you can see, these are our QC results that have been submitted to QC decision. You can see the order type, order number, material code, description. You can see the warehouse and our lot number. Next, we'll be going over QC defect module. This is a critical component of the Cuscen's platform designed to help to manage and track defects discovered during your quality control process. To report a new defect, you can click on plus on add button, and this takes you to the form where you can input details about the defect. We're going to have to choose our QC order first, and the study is going to be open. And once you click on defect code, we have, for example, we have like a paint leak from or raw material defect, right? So if I select raw material defect, I'm going to have to choose a location for that specific defect. So I'm just going to go with this first one. And once I'm all set, as you can see, I submitted, and I can see my defect code, my defect group, my defect type, and my defect location. And again, once I'm all done, I can click this on save, and that will update to my QC defect dashboard. Lastly, I want to talk about QC complaints section. This table is where you'll find a comprehensive log of past complaints, but as you can see, it's currently empty. To add a new complaint, you can simply click on plus on a button located at the top of the screen. After clicking on add, you are taken to the QC complaint create page. Here, each field must be filled out to ensure a detailed account of the quality issue. Yeah, we're going to have to put the complaint number. We're going to have to put the QC order. We're going to have to put our branch, our lot number, complaint type. Is it going to be internal complaint or complaint against supplier, right? We're going to have to put our complaint date with the time, with the description. Below, we have the overview. Under reference document, we're going to have to choose our material code. I'm going to leave the dates. I'm going to change this one. If we can put a PO number, production order number. We can also put vendors, right? If it was like a complaint against supplier. Next, we have the defect, right? I can add a defect here. As you can see, our material, defect location again. So I can click on here and just save. I can also add a cause. Like we have the cause code. Is it the raw material issue or production issue, right? I'm going to go with production issue. And we can also add actions. And in order to do that, we have action codes, like action testing 1 or testing 2. I'm going to go with 1. I'm going to save this as well. Lastly, we have the feedback here as well. And we have the feedback codes like feedback test 1 or feedback test 2. So I'm just going to go with the first one as well. And this is pretty much it. And if there's any QC complaint, we can do it from here. And once we're done with the specific QC complaint, we can click on save, and that will update our QC complaint dashboard. Thank you.
Thanks again, Batu, for all your help today. I really enjoyed showing the audience how our best practices could be put into practice by using an ERP system. By following these structured workflows, Food and beverage manufacturers are now able to manage their inventory more effectively and ensure a seamless production process, maintaining high product quality, leading to increased profitability and reduced costs. I thank everybody for joining us today. I thank you, Kevin, for hosting. I thank you, Batu, for showing, and we look forward to future events. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, Batu, for the demonstration. Much appreciated. So far, we have covered Dan's presentation from the subject matter point of view in terms of improving processes in food and beverage industry. Also, as a follow-up to Dan's presentation as subject matter expert, my colleague Batu from our pre-sales software department, he performed a demonstration of Cuscen ERP. So you heard from a subject matter expert, and follow-up, you were also able to see Cuscen ERP system in action. Now let's talk about Cuscen ERP, Cuscen company as a whole on a very, very high level. So far, the executive webinar session has been very, very informative. Let's continue this process, and then we'll go to the Q&A session to address your questions also. Cuscen ERP itself is the most customer-centric business software platform and has been in the market since 2012. Cuscen ERP comes in two different editions. One is called Enterprise Edition, other one is called Small Business Edition. So that helps small, mid-size, as well as enterprise companies enjoy the benefits of Cuscen ERP to address the digitization and automation needs of their company, especially from finance, accounting, and operations point of view. These are some of the reputable organizations using Cuscen ERP on daily basis. As you can tell, these are very well-known brands. So Cuscen ERP is trusted by well-known brands globally from different industries. So automotive, food and beverage, construction, as well as packaging and many other industries are actually okay for Cuscen to be used. So it's ideal for any organization, pretty much industry-free, vertical-free. Today we focus on food and beverage industry from manufacturing point of view, and this is a pretty good slide to show some manufacturing references that Cuscen has. And these are reputable organizations, institutions, and companies. Cuscen is actually an enterprise software publishing company that's global, and it's been around since 2012. It's established. And when we look at the Cuscen ERP software system, it is a mature software system. It's been around for more than a decade. There are many different organizations, as I showed earlier in my presentation, earlier in the previous slide, that there are many different companies using Cuscen on daily basis for finance, accounting, and operations purposes. The software itself, it is designed to be user-friendly for any type of user available in your organization. And some of the key benefits of the software are digitizing your entire business process, business operations. This basically helps you increase productivity, reduce operational cost. From the manufacturing point of view, helps you reduce production costs and reduce waste and scraps. Also, any type of compliance requirements that you have from financial point of view or operations point of view, Cuscen will be very helpful for you to address and comply those regulatory as well as legal requirements to comply. It is designed for small, mid-size, and enterprise companies, as I mentioned earlier. It's actually available for any type of company from different industries, not for profits, manufacturing, distribution, wholesale, construction, real estate, and many more. And when we look at the software system on a very high level, it is user-friendly. The architecture is utilizing the cloud technology. So the Cuscen ERP software can be available on cloud as a SaaS for your immediate use. And if you have a private cloud or on-premise server, Cuscen ERP can be deployed, can be installed in your private environment as well. And very important point, Cuscen comes with 24/7 customer support. That's critical and very important for any software user. The Cuscen ERP is running in a safe and secure environment. every single user has a unique username and a password. There is also a permission structure available in the system, and it is role-based, and there is two-factor authentication available. For every single user, there is also a log history available for auditing and view for later on as well. So in that sense, it's very capable. The accounting part of the software, Cuscen ERP, it is the backbone of your operations from accounting and finance point of view. There is the general ledger, there is accounts receivable functionalities, there is accounts payable, as well as cash transactions and banking transactions. An entire system can be managed on a laptop, on a desktop, as well as mobile devices. One of the cool things about Cuscen ERP is there is a native mobile application available that you can use it with your smartphone as well as your tablet. And it's a specially designed native mobile application for your user experience. It's easy to use. It has colorful dashboards available, and you can run your operations. From the controlled procurement point of view, I need to also mention that there is purchasing management available. There is fixed asset management available for depreciation, amortization, and general ledger registrations of it. And all these operations runs on a workflow environment. Everything is controlled, so every single action that you'll take in the system can be approved and okayed by your superior, so that there is a controlled operational environment available. And in this particular case that we are looking at right now on the screen, we are referring to the purchasing management as well as fixed asset management. Cuscen ERP comes with industry editions, distribution management, construction, manufacturing, and real estate. Earlier in the executive webinar session today, we show you the manufacturing module, and let's talk about other modules a little bit, and you can be also informed about the benefits and features of the modules. Distribution module designed for wholesale distribution and import and export operations. So you can manage your purchasing operations, purchasing any type of merchandise, and you can also manage your inventory. So you purchase and then you stock items, let's just say, and you may have multiple warehouses, multiple shelves, multiple locations in a warehouse. They can all be managed in Cuscen easily. And also you can manage your sales cycles as well. Proposals, quotations, as well as sales orders. Shipments can also be managed in the distribution management module, all in one platform. Very convenient. We focus a lot about the manufacturing module today, and we also demonstrated. So as you saw during the demonstration, you can manage any type of manufacturing process. Today, we talk a lot about the food and beverage industry, which is actually a process manufacturing type of manufacturing. On the Cuscen manufacturing, you can manage both process manufacturing as well as discrete manufacturing, such as automotive, aerospace, electronics, and so on. All the reports on the software system are ready-made. You can call these reports anytime on Cuscen. You can schedule these reports. All these reports are also exportable. You can export to any other environment that to make any changes or put together special reports. Also, if you like to have custom reports, they can also be managed and prepared in the software. Third-party integrations are welcomed. Cuscen has integration capabilities to share data in a secure environment between third-party software solutions that you may have at your organization. So we can always make these integrations. The benefit of the integration is to avoid double entry and avoid human error. So in that sense, Cuscen has a very modern architecture for the integration capabilities. Okay, great. So now we are in the Q&A session. We have a couple of questions that we received from our audience. So let's look at those questions. So I see the questions. One of them is about mobile application. Does Cuscen ERP have a native mobile application? This is one of the questions. So the answer is yes. There is a native mobile application, can be used both for Android devices as well as iPhones, iOS devices as well. So that's ready. It can be downloaded from the store, App Store, and you can just set this up with your username and password, and then you can start using it pretty much immediately. So the answer is yes. So that's actually a good question, because mobile applications are getting more and more popular every day. So it's important to emphasize these offering from Cuscen ERP. Okay, so let's look at another question. The other question is about workflow. Does Cuscen have workflow engine underneath for approvals? Yes, so there are workflows available in the system. So any type of your operations, say purchasing operation, sales operation, or any other steps that you take in the system, you can turn on the workflow approval system, and you can let your superiors approve it, reject it, or at least stay informed about steps that are being taken in the system. So workflows are there and available in Cuscen ERP. I think we can take one more question. Okay, so the last question we'll take is about reporting. Can Cuscen offer customized reporting for my group? Yes, so Cuscen ERP comes with ready-made reports, so you can always pull them and utilize them. In addition, you can also put together customized reports for your company, for your groups. Let's remember, Cuscen comes with dimensions, right? So in one group, if you have different divisions, units, or group companies, you can manage them in Cuscen from finance, accounting, and operations point of view. In addition, reporting customization also available. So that's also an important point that I'm glad that question also was asked. Good, that's good. But I see actually there are more questions, but we have limited time. So you see our contact information on the screen, my contact information, Dan's, as well as Batu's. So you can send us an email and we can discuss further about the questions that you have about your company's expectations, requirements, and pain points. And we'll be happy to address those as well in a separate session. We definitely welcome follow-up conversation after this session as well. Please shoot us an email for that, and we'll be happy to address your questions, and looking forward to partnering and working with you. Okay, great. I believe it's been a very informative executive webinar session. And today we talk about the food and beverage industry, how to improve processes and how to run processes in Cuscen ERP from the digital transformation point of view. We were happy to offer and run this session for you, and more will be coming in coming weeks as well. So I'd like to thank you for your time and for your interest, and looking forward to having you in our coming executive webinar sessions. Thank you very much, and have a nice day.
Thank you for attending the Cuscen USA Executive Webinar session. For more information, please visit the corporate website at cuscenusa.com. Looking forward to seeing you at future executive webinar sessions. Have a great day. Thank you.